Uh-oh. That's not the screen I'm supposed to be seeing right now. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Let's say we go for a practice run with good old Toyeka to get used to these ridiculous new controls I'm going to be adapting. We're off to a fantastic start. Oh good, turbo. I'm gonna need that. So for those watching this VOD in the future, what I'm doing is playing a genre of game that you typically use a gamepad for on an arcade fight stick. I am trying to make micro adjustments with the same kind of lever that you use to control Space Invaders or Street Fighter. As you can clearly tell by how bad my driving is right now, it's kinda difficult. Case in point, I am hitting the wrong buttons to look in the rearview mirror. I'm a character in a 2000s TV show playing a video game. You know what? Headful, you are in fact completely correct. Long time no see, Headful. How you been? Ah! And go get back here so I can zap you. I am going to zap you. Unless you get a turbo. Get back here, you no good stuffed animal. Damn it, AMW, look what you've done to me. Just for that, I'm going to spite your reskin. You are doing good. I'm very glad to hear that. It is always good to hear people are holding up. Fuck you, Panga. It's always good to hear people are doing well in these trying times. How is it I always end up finishing these races backwards? Oh man, Supermarket 2. Ice physics. Ice physics on this clunky ass fight stick. This is going to be a comedy of errors. Especially if I keep getting rear-ended. Ah! You see a wild shredster? A wild shred draws near, as it were. How's it going, Molezra? Welcome to I am trying to play racing games with the wrong kind of controller and hitting all of the wrong buttons. Welcome back to trying to play a game that demands micro adjustments without the ability to make micro adjustments. Well, you're playing you're playing DQ2 and I made a DQ reference. Wasn't even intentional, it just the cookie crumbled that way. It has gotcha and you hate it. Oh no. What did they do? I am getting bullied by an endangered species. Maybe I should switch. Dare I switch to Perp XL? Dare I fly so close to the sun? Toyeka's as overpowered as it is because it has really smooth handling. So there's a vendor who has that spinning with the different colored balls. I'm listening. Oh, what am I doing to myself? Why am I doing this? Why did I switch to Perp XL? For those who don't know, Perp XL has it's one of the fastest cars in the game. Like, the competitive community for this game actually banned Perp XL for a time because it was so overpowered. But as a trade-off for its power, it has a bizarre tendency to, if you hit the brakes at all while taking a turn, you are going to do a 180, no questions asked. Not that it matters considering how I keep smashing into everything. Oh, I'm in last place, that's why. Let me move my mic a little bit here so I can see better. Each ball is a different prize and you exchange tickets for a spin of 1 or 10 in a group. Ugh. I'm guessing the drop rates are abysmal. Or the odds, rather. Oh. Don't like this. I am going to explode. I'm just... Fuck it, respawn. Fuck it, we ball. Did you know that for every car crash, there's a car that gets pwned? How did I survive that? How did I didn't survive that. Nope, 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 nope. Don't like that. Barely even go in a straight line. Funny thing is, there was an actual official arcade port of this game, but it used like it was a racing game cabinet. So it had like a steering wheel and a gas pedal and a brake pedal, and not this hackney Street Fighter Space Invaders setup. I'm intentionally using the kneecap myself on purpose. Panga, get out of here, Panga. Ah! He's still lost to the polar bear anyways. Panda bear. I'm calling him a polar bear. Actually, no, I'm calling him a horse. There are rank 1 through 4, and the odds are pretty funny, but then there's the ultimate prize. And yeah, you just save scum that. Wrong button. I'm assuming that this ultimate prize is something that you actually, like, genuinely want. I like my squeaky horn. Oh dear me. I think that Perp XL's tendency to do 180s is going to come back to bite me. The second one you've come across is it varies by town. The 25% discount on all purchased items. Holy shit! That is really good. Why would they hide that behind a lottery? Am I in first place right now? What is going on? How is this happening? I am actually pulling ahead. Holy crap. Holy guacamole. I'm not pulling ahead enough, but I am pulling ahead. This is clutch. Panga! That could have gone so badly. Holy crap, I actually won a race. Unbelievable. Let's watch this toy car, let's watch this stuffed Panga mounted on a go-kart chassis suffer for our amusement. This is what you get for being the biggest obstacle. Fun fact, normally in the vanilla game, you cannot actually race against this car normally. It is unselectable by the CPU. But game mods are a beautiful thing that let you live your wildest dreams and fantasies. Like playing rooftops on a very suboptimal controller. Yep, that's about what I expected. If your game have an odd topic of the conversation you said you didn't want to type out responses for, but my beef with the remastered upcoming Deus Ex was, okay, so generally speaking, as primarily a PC gamer first and foremost, so bear in mind that, like, from the perspective of someone who primarily plays on consoles and never had the opportunity to play games from past console generations or consoles they never owned, I see why the idea of a remake or remaster or what have you would be appealing, because that gives a new audience a chance to play a game that was previously unavailable to them. But speaking as someone who has primarily been a PC gamer for the statistical majority of their life, and also speaking as an armchair wannabe game developer. I gotta be specific. I am a wannabe game developer. As an armchair wannabe game developer, and as someone who doesn't exactly have the greatest amount of disposable income to spend on video games and other forms of leisure, I find the idea of full-priced remasters to be patently absurd in an era where we have more access than ever to the original versions of those games for relatively small amounts of money. Especially when we have companies like Sega going around delisting the original versions of those games in order to force the remastered versions down their throats. So, from the release of Sonic X Shadow Generations onwards, for example, it is now impossible to buy the original Sonic Generations, which means if you want to see the original versions of the cutscenes or play any of the mods that were made for the original version of the game, your ability to do so is now basically crippled if you didn't already buy the original version of the game. Furthermore, in the case of Deus Ex specifically, because it is such a moddable game, there's a lot of room to tinker with it, to try and fix things which have already been fixed in, say, the Deus Ex community patch or GMDX. But because these are people who are out to make money rather than people who are fixing something that they like as a passion project, there is the potential for them to meddle with the game in unwelcome ways. You generally don't see this in most remasters, as far as I'm aware. In fact, I can't even think of any specific examples off the top of my head of that happening. There probably are specific examples of remakes fucking things up. I know that was like a big concern with a lot of classic game remasters. Like, case in point, I know that a lot of Dragon Quest fans do not like the Dragon Quest 1 HD remaster because of the ways that it's screwed with the original game. But because Deus Ex is such a classic, such a pillar of an entire subgenre, and because I believe its political message is far more important today than it ever was back when it first released, the odds of the developers fucking it up are very slim. But there's also the question of what's the point of the remaster if the original game is on a past version of an engine which is still being used to develop modern console games today, if the original version of the game is widely available for a few bucks and a definitive version of that same game already exists in the forms of the community patch or GMDX or, God forbid, Deus Ex Revision. How do we know that the copyright owners of the Deus Ex license won't delist the original game once their shiny new remake is out? therefore cutting off people's access to Community Patch or GMDX. I guess my beef with the Deus Ex Remaster is I don't understand the purpose of its existence. And that ties into... I've kind of been coming around to the idea that a lot of remasters that come out these days are kind of pointless. Because, like, bloody hell, this is an absolute train wreck going on right now. Fundamentally, the idea of an improved second attempt is, I would say, commendable. I like the idea of a game that didn't quite make the mark on its first go-around, getting a second chance to learn from its mistakes and reinvent itself as an improved version of itself. There are countless games that would benefit greatly from the ability to have a second go-around. Deus Ex is not one of them. Most games that get remastered are not one of them. Most games that get remastered were already games that were critically acclaimed and don't need to be remastered in the first place. You know what game needs a remaster? The one I'm playing right now. But it will never get that remaster because it isn't a cultural touchstone. But White Light did a video on why he doesn't like remasters that pretty much sums up the reason why I'm not super jazzed about the Deus Ex remaster in a more broad, artistically minded sense. He specifically goes into how modern remasters tend, because they're made by completely different studios that don't have any of the original developers on board, they tend to completely miss the point behind what made those games good in the first place when they slather on all of their upscaling filters. Like, for example, Assassin's Creed 3, that game takes place in the dead of a frigid cold winter. So why is it that the remaster paints everything golden orange? Or in the Arkham series remaster, eviscerates the incredibly moody atmosphere that the original Arkham games were famous for. Actually, speaking of upscaling, there's something else that concerns me. How do we know that there isn't going to be AI-generated bullshit in the Deus Ex remaster? It would be the most tone-deaf, ironic thing in history, but we live in one of the stupidest times since the invention of the printing press. Media literacy is at an all-time low, and large companies are hell-bent on firing as many people as possible, including the goddamn United States government. So, like, what reason do I have to believe that the people that Eidos sold the Deus Ex license to, which, mind you, Square Enix sold off the Deus Ex license so that they could invest in generative AI. Actually, no, not generative AI, in NFTs, They sold out the Deus Ex license so they could invest in NFTs, and literally nothing has come of that. I guess what I'm worried about is that Deus Ex is going to get wow cool roboted. Which, I mean, it kind of sort of already was with the prequels. But at least the prequels tried to deliver the message that racism is fucking terrible. Even if they fell into the pit of trying to use an analogy for something that really should not be analogized. What reason do I have to believe that whoever is pushing out the remaster gives a shit? It's kind of the reason why a lot of people don't trust Sega to make a Sonic Adventure remaster. It's why I don't trust anyone to make a Revolt remaster or even a successor at this point. The nuances of this one game have become so central to its lasting appeal that let's just say I'm playing the Revolt's equivalent of a community patch or GMDX right now. And considering how this franchise was handled by its previous rights holders, I don't trust anyone in charge of the IP to not trample over their own fan base in order to try and extract as much money out of a nostalgia grab as possible. I realize this is a very incoherent kind of ramble I'm going on right now. I can't really articulate my thoughts on the fly because they're complicated and I'm also playing a video game at the same time. It's a very complicated subject matter that honestly deserves its own like half an hour long video to properly dissect and articulate. Something was happening a few years back regarding that from WeGo's hands. Didn't they try to pass off the 1.2 patch as their own work? I remember that was the reason it got delisted from GOG. I also wouldn't trust anything that WeGo has ever said, considering literally every new piece of content they put out was stolen from something else in some way. Concept art was either straight up plagiarized from like that fan project Revolt Stories, or it was coupled together from stolen assets from like CSGO. The new skins that they put out used stolen assets, like a Decepticon logo or the Monster Energy logo. I, for one, am glad that WeGo has gone under, but I'm still not exactly thrilled that former members of WeGo are the current rights holders for the IP. I do not trust. I realize that that is some sins of the forefather type bullshit, but at the same time, can you blame me for being paranoid? Something that is central to who I am as a video game enjoyer is that I grew up playing on a Dreamcast. I grew up playing Sega's last console, playing a lot of first, second, and third-party games for said console that were kind of like Revolt, but not exclusively Revolt. Games that were really good and fundamentally shaped my tastes as a video game fan, but which never got sequels or successors or even, in some cases, basic dignity. Like Toy Commander, for example. Toy Commander was considered a brilliant game for its time, and I do agree, but the sheer difficulty curve of that game has made it increasingly inaccessible to a wider and wider audience, and the fact that it never got any kind of successor, its own sequel got canceled, means that any potential that there was in an unrealistic arcadey vehicle switching war game has never been tapped again. I am not playing Museum 2. And that goes for a lot of classic games on the Dreamcast. Especially racing games. So, picture growing up, watching all of your favorite games fade into near complete and utter obscurity, left behind for the next big thing, while seemingly everyone else's childhood franchises, especially kids who got a Nintendo 64 for Christmas, they got to watch all of their childhood favorites keep getting sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel and merchandise and adaptations in other mediums. That shit made me jealous, man. Especially because I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot by admitting this live on stream, but I don't like Zelda. So imagine my frustration watching some of my all-time favorite games rot in obscurity, or in Revolt's case, being actively used to propagate theft by an unscrupulous husk of a company, while people keep ramming down my throat over and 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 over again about how this 15 FPS piece of shit from the 90s was like one of the most important games of all time, and it was a fundamental building block for billions of childhoods. Which, I don't know which of the Sedley Devon. I don't know which of the 7 deadly sins jealousy falls under, but that is my original sin, and I live it without shame. Kurt, I am not sure if you just heard the insane rant I just went on. But yeah, because I am jealous of all the franchises I don't like constantly getting accolades and sequels and remakes and remasters, I am jealously protective of the few things that I can say I'm a fan of. Thus, I am naturally inclined towards being inherently distrustful of anyone and everyone who seeks to be able to profit off of those things. Hence, my distrust of the Deus Ex remaster, and hence my complete inability to extend even an ounce of trust towards the current rights holders of the Revolt IP. If all that H2 Interactive, or whatever they're called, does is just keep selling a patched version of the original 99 game for the rest of eternity, I would be content with that. Because I do not trust an attempted remake or remaster in a modern game engine. As much as I wish that RVGL could implement some of the quality of life features from modern game engines. Ugh. Whoever at Probe Entertainment decided that whole spheres was a good way to do collision detection. I hope they aren't in software engineering anymore. I can't complain too much, though. I know that this game's development was kind of crunched. That is why there is only one botanical garden when there was meant to be two. That is why the Rooftops level only ever made it onto the Dreamcast port. And that is why the Xbox version / sequel was never developed. Although, funnily enough, certain versions of another acclaimed toy car racing game called RC Revenge was labeled a Revolt sequel. Even though it plays absolutely nothing like Revolt, looks absolutely nothing like Revolt, sounds absolutely nothing like Revolt, and is basically a completely different game. That only thing in common that it shares with Revolt is the fact that it has toy cars in it. I love marketing companies. They have fantastic ideas. You know, I have been on this impassioned rant for so long that I have completely forgotten to clarify why I'm even playing this game in the first place. Take a listen to this. I am playing this game on an arcade fight pad. I am playing this game with Street Fighter controls. That's why I'm playing so badly. We haven't known each other very long. We've known each other for pretty much as long as we've both been viewing OMAX, haven't we? Hopefully you know that I ask out of genuine curiosity rather than wanting to pick a fight. Oh, I did not get the implication that you were trying to pick a fight at all, Malazra. I realized that the ferocity of my ramblings probably did make it sound like I was getting heated. Rest assured, I am just exaggerating because, well, for one, I exaggerate for comedic effect, but for two, I exaggerate because that's just the kind of person I am. I like to exaggerate for the sake of exaggeration. It's another way of my sense of sarcasm manifesting, so I am not at all offended. Make no mistake. like I said, I'm not completely against the idea of all video game remasters, especially in the cases where, as I said earlier, games that were almost... How the hell did I make that jump after getting hit by a water balloon? Like I said, I do think there are cases where a remake or a remaster or just any kind of improved second attempt can be justified. It's just, in most cases, the games that get those improved second attempts don't actually need them. I'm actually getting kind of good at this. That's worrying. Alright, it's, I'll play the hardest level in the game and eat some humble pie. That's what we all signed up for tonight, isn't it? Humble pie? Oh, I just had a really cursed idea, actually. Oh, I know what I'm doing after this race. Ugh! Ugh! I'm in first place again. How is this happening? Why am I getting first place on the hardest track in the game? While using Street Fighter controls. You signed up to make number go up? You know, that is fair. Especially considering that you're playing a game that would actually probably play kind of okay on Street Fighter controls. Or Fightcade controls, there you go. I'm using flight controls. BRB, it's 1,700 hours into take meds and eat snack. I need to take my meds that don't need snack soon, actually. Well, supplements, not meds. Even though they're kind of accomplishing the same thing when you think about it. Balloons! Balloons! Ah! Dinosaur. That. There's that damn panda bear again. Oh, nope. Abandoned ship. Abort mission. Seriously? Come on now. Work that sucker to death. Come on now. Work that sucker to death. Sorry, I made a Sonic CD reference, so I had to do the thing. I had to do the bit. It's contractually obligated. By myself. I contractually obligated myself to do the bit. That's how streaming works. DQ2 is making you beat up a nun? Hell yeah, brother. I don't know why I'm cheering for this, but I am. It's quite a bizarre thing to say because most nuns are generally good people. Except for when they aren't. But when has that ever happened? And no, that one time doesn't count. I had a really good bad idea. You think it's a monster disguise, but it's still very funny. Man, shoutouts to Chrono Trigger. Alright, I spent the past 40 minutes complaining about Panga. Let's play as Panga. This is a fantastic idea that cannot possibly go wrong. Panga is huge, it's heavy, and it has very stiff handling. This is gonna go great. Yep, we are already off to a rip-roaring start. Wait. RV Loco. Oh no. Oh no, RV Loco. Oh. Oh. Oh, I know what I know what car I'm changing to in a few more races. And in fact, I might be changing next race because I'm doing shockingly well with Panga, all things considered. Although I'm also playing one of the most straightforward tracks in the entire game, so, you know, maybe I shouldn't get my hopes up. Don't get too cocky, Star Fox. Just Panga things. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Not doing this. Not doing the backwards thing again. Nope. I am in 7th place. I am in 6th place. Point is, even when I say I'm doing particularly okay, I'm not actually doing particularly okay. Buster Wolf. Arbitrary joke, low-hanging fruit. Power Geyser is the cooler move and is not that's not true. I'm just saying shit. Okay. Well, that was educational. Let's do that on a much harder level. The big bulky beast on freaking Supermarket. That'll go. There's no way this could possibly go wrong. I'm definitely gonna get first place. I am immediately I am trying to climb over another car. Just driving up walls, climbing over cars. Yep. Oh, this is chaos. I love it. Oh man, the chicanes. The chicanery. The chicaner. Beautiful. I am absolutely destroying this level right now, in the physical sense, not in the mechanical sense. Fucking red faction panda over here. The monster's name was Twisted Sister. Your dark assistant, Mummy Dearest. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well played. Well played, localization team. You did good. Is going suspicious. I had to open my mouth, didn't I? I was going to say it was going suspiciously well, and then I immediately clip a wall. What's my upload speed set to? It's at, I believe, a variable bitrate between 3,000 and 6,000 BPS. Or kbps, rather. Yes, the frame rate is a little bit goofy right now, but that is also a consequence of the methods which I am been forced to use to capture the screen in the first place. Because the method that would give me better frames would be, it's actually, like, giving me worse frames for some reason that I cannot fathom or understand. Video capture is not an exact science. What was I going to do next again? Oh, right. RV Loco. So, for the uninitiated, which I assume is basically my entire audience, RV Loco is a joke car that has an obscenely high top speed, but absolutely abysmal literally everything else. And when I say literally, I do actually mean literally. It has terrible acceleration, terrible handling. It's extremely top heavy, so it's very prone to flipping over. And I'm going to attempt to drive it with an arcade joystick. Which I cannot imagine working out very well in the long run. Oh, yep, here we go, here we go. There it is. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. Ooh, yes. This is the chaos I desired. Oh, Pest Control's another abysmal car that I gotta try this out with. There are so many good bad cars in this game to try this silly controls with. Ah! Ugh! Second to last place. That's delicious. I'm actually doing surprisingly okay. I say as I get rammed into a corner. Yep, there it is. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, now hit me, baby. The fact that I'm not doing too much worse than usual with this car is slightly concerning. I should take this. I should go to Ghost Town 1 next to, The real wrong way of playing the game is with a Guitar Hero controller. Didn't Vinesauce Joel, Mark Skeletor Joel, play Doom with a Guitar Hero controller? Believe you me, if I could set up Revolt with a Guitar Hero controller, I absolutely would, but I don't actually own one. Half-Life. That's what Joel played. He played Half-Life with a Guitar Hero controller. If I had a Guitar Hero controller, I would absolutely try to play Revolt with a Half-Life controller. That is a Half-Life controller. WASD and mouse controls and a... If I could play Revolt on a Guitar Hero guitar, I absolutely would, but I don't own one. The HEV controller? Oh, good lord. Is that like a full body AR motion capture thing? Imagine trying to play a racing game to like tilt your whole body to move left and right. Although I guess that was Mario Kart Wii, wasn't it? Yep. You have a Guitar Hero controller, so you could play this with it? Oh, you absolutely have got to, like, publicize the result of this experiment in some form. Oh, you're doing this again. Never mind. Every time I get flipped backwards, I think I'm gonna start driving the track backwards again, but nope. Can someone please explain to me how it is I'm doing better on the off-road track than I was on the on-road level? You know what? I know exactly why it is. It's because Ghost Town 1 is one of my favorite levels in the whole game. So clearly this means we need to try the other off-road level. Ghost Town 2. At this point, I am actively trying to make things as hard for myself as possible. Although I guess that's probably fairly obvious. Thank you for the boost pull pause. I greatly appreciate it. MK only requires hand rotation, not full body rotation. You got me there. Using full body rotation on RVGL sounds like you're attempting to convert your entire body into mush. Contort your entire body into mush. I mean, if you're controlling it with an HEV suit or your regional equivalent. Come on now, Perp. Not Perp, Loco. Come on now, Loco. Wrong purple car. There are only 2 purple cars in this game. One of them is garbage, the other one is overpowered. Funny how that works out. You're sitting there thinking an upper body equipped controller with the feet for pedals you might end up broken playing that. Name someone who wouldn't. Especially if you're playing as RV Loco or Pest Control. And mind you, this is a buffed version of RV Loco. The unmodified vanilla game, this car is even worse. Like, actually unusable even with a proper controller setup. I'm about to say how TF is Loco moving this fast. So, fun bit of trivia for you. In the console ports that RV Loco debuted in, it had the fastest top speed of any car in the game by a significant margin. In an attempt to make the car less uncontrollable, the developer of RVGL reduced its top speed to something more within its speed class or within its rating. What I've done, and this is like a totally unreleased mod that I'm still like on the fence about actually releasing publicly, is I basically just copied over all of Cougar's stats and then modified them to have the same downsides as the console version of RV Loco, while still having the high speed of the console version of RV Loco, and just making it physically possible to actually use it in a semi-serious race without it flipping over just for trying to turn. But as penance for its crimes, it also only weighs like a single kilogram. So other cars can push it around something fierce. I can't let the already terrible joke car that's still terrible even after buffing it, can't let it get away with too much. But enough about a terrible car. Let's talk about a terrible car. Here we go. Pest Control. The car with no friction. You want to see a gong show? Ladies and gentlemen, I have the gongest gong. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, yes. Oh, baby. This is beautiful. So for the uninitiated, Pest Control's whole shtick is that in addition to having terrible acceleration, it also has extremely twitchy steering, but abysmal grip. So it is constantly swerving back and forth. If you can actually control this car, you deserve a medal. There's not even much of a point to learning how to control this car anyways, because even if you can control it, other cars still outclass it in other departments. So it's just a bad car for no real reason. pest control is like your weight loss goals for real, for real. That's, Nah, I think you're giving pest control too much credit. Pest control deserves nothing. Look at that, dead last by almost half a minute. Let's go to a track that actually has some challenging turns in it. Make it look palatable. Never mind, I got dead last. This car sucks. I mean, if you had a proper controller setup and not my hodgepodge Street Fighter controls, you probably could wrangle this car and do cool things with it. But I'm not here to play the game correctly. I'm here to have fun, completely screwing everything up on purpose. And dang it, I'm enjoying myself. This is bringing a smile to my face. What's my setup? I am playing racing games on an arcade fight pad. So I've got like the arcade lever joystick rather, and the 6 face buttons. Yes, an arcade stick. I am playing Revolt on an arcade stick. I don't know where I got this idea from. I know why I got the idea. It's because I'm still dragging my feet on getting back into Metal Wolf. But I don't know where I got the idea from. I've been playing with an arcade stick this whole time, and that's why even when I was playing as Perp XL, I was driving horribly. It just getting really awful positions. You use your D-pad and you do okay with it. Yeah, normally I play this game on keyboard. It's just a lot harder to make micro adjustments when you have this much stick travel. Try Titanic with it? That's a good idea. You can't even imagine this game with a steering wheel? Well, Acclaim certainly could, because the arcade port did use a steering wheel and a gas pedal and a brake pedal. And all of the console ports of this game use the joystick as well. In fact, I'm sure if you were to ask around on the Revolt Discord, you could probably find some folks who play this game with a steering wheel. And I can tell you with 95% certainty that they would have an easier time controlling pest control than I am having right now. I keep trying to hit the brakes to use my items, and I keep trying to use items in order to hit the brakes. I just invented this control scheme an hour ago, and I'm still having muscle memory issues. Playing pest control is like using a JDM drift car. I will contest that. Playing Humma is like playing a JDM drift car. Humma is very drifty, but unlike Pest Control, it's actually like one of the best cars in the game. If you can control Humma, you can actually outperform Toyeka. It's just that Humma is a lot harder to control. Playing Pest Control is not like playing a JDM drift car. Playing Pest Control is like playing a Wish.com Temu car. Lamau? Yes, exactly. Lamau is very much what I have been doing all night. I've been loving it. This setup makes the game significantly more unplayable, but I'm laughing my ass off, so. At the end of the day, that's everything I wanted. And you know what the best part is? I have a second game lined up. Mr. Krabs' first RC bot from Wish.Temu. What do I mean, a second game? Exactly what it sounds like. I'm not content to ruin just one racing game tonight. I am casting a wide net. I think I have sated most of my curiosity about controlling different cars with this jank setup. I'm gonna do one more pass through the roster just to see if, just to be certain. Are there any other goofy controlling vehicles I want to try this with? Rotor, Rotor I feel like would just be an encore of Panga. Stiff handling, but the fact that Rotor is flippable means that my inevitable disaster train wrecks wouldn't be as funny. Screw it. Let's see what happens. Rotor the roll cage? If only. If only Rotor could reach roll cage speeds. Then it might actually be a good car. I'm exaggerating, of course. Rotor is an unwieldy vehicle, but I think it makes sense that it's unwieldy as a counterbalance to the fact that it can drive upside down in the first place. But as you can see, I also just flipped myself upside down just by taking a turn, and that ended up, because this game's physics are somewhat realistic, and like each individual wheel is simulated, that did end up putting me into the wall. Case in point, I am in second to last place right now. Bertha, if you could please stop trying to crush my skull, that would be fantastic. The stats in this car ended up being the heaviest. Would it stop flipping over? Rotor's already a pretty heavy car, so I don't believe so. It's just the nature of how grippy the wheels are, combined with the fact that its center of mass is higher off the ground than most other cars. Mind you, there are other ways to make Rotor a little more drivable. RVGL has introduced the ability for custom content creators, car makers, track makers. There are other flippable cars on Revolt World that you can download, which have the flippability of Rotor, but none of Rotor's drawbacks. Some of them are even in the RVIO car packs that are used for standardized online racing. So you can make good flippable cars. People have made good flippable cars. It's just that because Rotor is the first of its kind being made by the original developers themselves, who, you know, the same people who made Pest Control and RV Loco and Full On X, the people who basically applied brawl balancing to this game because there's nothing else like it before or since. I guess they figured that making Rotor an unwieldy car was just a fair balance for its ability to effectively shrug off a decent amount of pickups and environmental hazards. I just think it's too wide, and its suspension makes it very prone to bouncing off ramps at an awkward angle. I did say I was going to try Humma, because Humma is also very slippery. Like, if you go onto Revolt World right now and search for a car called Current, C-U-R-R-E-N-T, you will get a flippable car that, in my opinion, handles very nicely. Not made by me, obviously. Have to go back to work. We'll be back in about 3 hours. I'll probably be done streaming by then. But thanks for dropping by. It was always glad to see you. You know, I was just praising Humma for being a slippery, drifty car done right. And I would argue I'm arguably doing even worse than I was doing with Pest Control. I'm pretty sure the only reason I'm not in dead last right now is because Full On X is genuinely just all across the board a terrible car. We have a hydrate. We are hydrating a... We are redeeming a hydrate. Also, what difficulty are you on? If I set my config up correctly, the hardest difficulty. Because I've been playing this game for too long, I'm... and I know the stock cars and tracks almost as well as I know the back of my hand. And because I know that the way that the game's AI is programmed, it can be a little bit dumb. Although that said, I'm pretty sure I also have the improved AI nodes mod installed as well, so that makes the AI even smarter, at least on the stock tracks. It's going to be interesting switching to spectator cam at the end of this race and seeing what the heck Full On X is doing. Up! Bye, Panga! Oh, what is this poor car doing? Actually, surprisingly okay. Never mind. Never mind. Bless your little underpowered heart, Full On. You were never meant to be such a dumpster fire. You poor car. Alright, I lied. I have one more car I want to play. Oh, do I not? Hang on. There it is. Yeah, boy. Oh, this is going to be a hot disaster. I'm very excited to see how badly this goes. Yep. Wheels are stuck in the ground. We are off to a rip-roaring start. There it is. This is delicious. Can't even take a single turn without tilting. This is just adorable. Honestly, that's the word I would use for it. Adorable. Shopping cart thinks it's a real race car. That was beautiful. Look at that. I am 200 meters behind last place. And I am doing like I'm not deliberately throwing this race either. I am doing the best that I can with this combination of car and input method. It's just, Trolley is just that bad of a car. Oh. I've done it. Oh, that was beautiful. I can't even see what I'm doing because Trolley is just so huge. It takes up so much screen real estate. Look at that. I've been lapped. Other cars are finishing the race, and I'm only just now entering the last lap. This is pretty much exactly what I was expecting when I came up with this idea. I was honestly expecting my whole time playing this game to be like this. Well, if you let go of the gas, you can actually make some of these turns without tipping over. Go figure. Using the brakes in a driving game. Who could have seen that coming? All right. Now I'm satisfied. I think I have explored pretty much every avenue through which I can make this game's controls terrible. So, I am gonna go BRB for a second real quick, like, while I switch to the second game of the evening. And I will, while I'm doing that, I'm just gonna say, the thing about Revolt is that that's a game that I'm actually good at. Our second game of the night, I'm terrible at. And I am so excited to just completely fail at it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we are doing this. There is absolutely no way this could possibly go wrong. Wait, hang on. I gotta make sure I have, gotta make sure I have pitch assist turned off. Just to make this as unwieldy as possible. Are these custom settings? I don't remember setting this at all. Alright, baby, here we go. Playing Ballistic NG. With an arcade stick. Oh, dear me. That is my Xbox controller going ape. Yep. Yep.
Final lap.
Not being able to use the rudders at all definitely makes this game significantly harder. I'm just gonna go ahead and unplug my Xbox controller so it stops vibrating. Oof. Maybe I'm gonna have to turn on the air brake assist after all. Because this ain't gonna work. I'm just absolute wall banger. Where we're going, we don't need roads. I am struggling so hard just to control this that I can't spare any conscious thought to commentary. This is genuinely quite difficult.
Event complete. No medal.
Yeah, maybe I should turn on some of the steering assist, because holy smokes. Air brake assist, that's what I need. A good fast track. Oh yeah, let's go with the Mako. I like Mako. Let's see if air brake assist. Yep, air brake assist definitely is already improved things, and I'm still smashing into everything. Yep. 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 Still performing noticeably better, still smashing face first into every wall imaginable. Ow. Didn't even see those coming. Yep, I can feel. I can see with mine own eyes the air brake assist kicking in.
Final lap. Shield. Event complete.
Huh.
Silver medal awarded.
Second place. That is a hell of a difference. Let's try a harder level. Well, Harpstone isn't really that much harder, but let's try a slightly harder level. Yep, that definitely. Rest in pieces. Gonna absorb that pickup for the health because holy smokeroni and cheese. Yes, please. That was the wrong button. I did not mean to absorb that. Damn you, muscle memory. Absorb that at least. Got him!
Final lap.
I'm honestly surprised I managed to land that. That felt great. That felt real good. I'm still in 10th out of 16th, but at least I accomplished something kinda cool. Just not that. Just not oversteering and running headfirst into the wall.
Event complete. No medal.
How much harder can I make this on myself? Drift? Yes, drift. We are going drifting. This is a fantastic idea with no downsides whatsoever. This is in fact a very bad idea with all kinds of downsides. Yep, I'm just repainting the walls with my own ship's paint. It happened again. It happened again. Bumped into the pit lane divider. Good thing I had shield on. Ah! Twice. That is amazing. That's what happens when you go drifting, baby. Let's go drifting. I totally would have done it again if I didn't ram the other ship into the divider instead.
Event complete. No medal.
Well, top half of the pack, that's pretty good considering the constraints I'm working with. I'll take it. Oh, here we go. Oh, yes. Now we are playing with fire. Did I mention that this game's soundtrack is really good? Because this game's soundtrack is really good. How am I in the top 3 right now? This should not be happening.
Final lap.
Yeah, that's more what I was expecting. Balance has been restored. Never mind. Balance has been destabilized. I repeat, the balance has been destabilized. I am back in the top 3 again.
Event complete.
I just got top 3 in a 16 ship race in Ballistic NG on an arcade stick. What the hell? Oh, jeez. Well, I'm going to take that as encouragement to keep going, so. How am I in first place right now? How am I in first place right now? Why am I in first place right now? What? Excuse me? What is happening? Am I adapting? What's going on? Why am I winning? This can't be right. What? Nope, nope, there it is. There we go. That's what I was expecting. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, am I gonna win? Oh no. Oh no!
Event complete.
Oh, I don't believe it. I mean, I have to believe it because I'm seeing it with my own two eyes, but... What? Really? I actually won? Like, yeah, I'm playing on easy mode, but I'm playing on an arcade stick. What? You know what? No, we have to restore balance. I'm taking a drag ship to arrive on peak. That's the only way. Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord almighty. Yep, there we go. Now we're cooking. Oh, baby, a triple. I genuinely don't know if I'll actually survive to the end of this race because I keep hitting every wall. I'm just absorbing every pickup I get. Oh my good lord almighty. Ah! What? Do you see that? I wish you could see the expression on my face right now. Good Lord. That was awesome. Let's do another expert track. This is a good idea. Oh, baby, here we go. Turbo. Bad idea. I shouldn't use it. But I'm going to. Oh, I used it at the worst possible time. Ooh, instant regret. I feel like I've entered another dimension. A dimension of sight, a dimension of sound, a dimension of speed, a dimension of wall bangers. You have entered the ballistic zone. Insert electronic dance remix of the Twilight Zone theme here. How am I not exploded yet? Well, I've hit the pit lane, so it's fine. It's fine. Everything is always fine. Yes, autopilot, please. Autopilot, save me.
Disengaging. Event complete. No matter.
Can I, like, see what everyone else's times were? Because I guarantee it was a lot more impressive than whatever I got. Alright, I have a bad idea. I'm gonna make things even worse. Hyperspeed enabled. Drag speed enabled. Speed multiplier all the way up to 5. Let's do it. Tonight we drive in hell. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I have no words. What else can be said when this artistry speaks for itself? To be fair, I think I would have trouble controlling this even if I was using a controller. Or like an optimal flight simulator setup. Died in the pit lane. Beautiful.
Event complete. No medal.
Let's go to a hard level. In fact, let's go back to arrive on peak. What's the worst that could happen? Ah! What the? Ah! Holy crap! Oh, dear Lord. I'm taking my hands off the controller.
Mines. Energy low. Energy critical. Contender eliminated. Rockets. Energy low. Energy critical. Contender eliminated. Hailstorm. Energy low. Energy critical. Contender eliminated. Autopilot. Energy low. Engaged. Disengaging. Missile. Energy critical. Contender eliminated. Energy critical. Rockets. Energy low. Energy critical. Contender eliminated. Mines. Energy low. Energy critical. Contender eliminated. Energy low. Energy critical. Contender eliminated. Rockets. Energy critical. Contender eliminated. Shield. Final lap. Energy low. Energy critical. Contender eliminated. Missile. Energy low. Energy critical. Contender eliminated. Rockets. Event complete.
Yep, that is an accurate visual for this entire experiment. And now it's the black screen of death. I have nothing. I have no words. There are no words.
No medal.
Yep. I don't think we're getting anything else out of BNG. I think we have already exhausted everything that can be wrung out of Ballistic NG. The question is, do I have any other racing games that I can ruin? Wait. Wait. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I just had a really... I just had the most blurst realization. There's no way, right? If this actually works. Oh no, I think it's working. Oh no, it's working. Oh, not this again. Fine, we'll do it this way. Yep. 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 Yep, I am playing Doom on an arcade stick. Oh, shoot. I can't believe this is actually working. Why would they let me do this? Why would GZ Doom let me do this? This is bad and wrong. I don't remember how to trigger this secret. Since I had forgot to bind any controls to change weapons, so I have to like reach over to my mouse, use the scroll wheel to change weapons. Ah, Slarendu. This is so unfathomably impractical. And yet, somehow it's working. It shouldn't be working. Why is this working? How am I... What? Like, yeah, I get this as a rough approximation of how the game was originally meant to be played back in the olden day, but like... Back when mouse look was still a foreign concept. How... I wish I had, like, an overhead camera showing you, but I have to, I'm turning with left and right and using 2 buttons to strafe. It is deeply unnatural. And yet somehow, some way, somehow, I'm making it work. Kind of. I wouldn't exactly call it a deft solution, but... I guarantee you this is only working because I'm in such early levels. If I were in, like, Act 2, I would be super dead by now. Wish you could hear how many clicks and clacks my controller is making right now. I am struggling to impress upon you the impracticality of what it is I am trying to do. This feels so unnatural. I don't know how I'm still alive. Well, here's a cool idea. Oh, hello. It is a struggle just to strafe out of the way. Because I keep hitting so many wrong buttons. This will probably be my last level because it has been roughly 2.5 hours and I can feel myself starting to get worn out. But this has been surprisingly fun. I have had a great time trying to shoehorn in my honestly terribly underutilized arcade stick into so many games that just do not function with it, and somehow making it work. This has been an incredibly fun experiment. And you know what? I'd be open to trying to do more of this. Playing games with the wrong controllers. I think that would be I think that's a good bit. I wonder if there, how many other non-arcade stick games I own that would work with this. Probably a lot. Probably a lot more than I realize. Stop running away, dang you. Hey! I want to be here. Well, I can shoot bad guys, so... I am not using that. I am not using that. I am not using that. I'm not using that. I am not using that. Whoa! I fell on top of a specter. Another one? Yes, there is. Oh, this is increasingly unwieldy. Oh no. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh, yep, that's what I was waiting for. Yep. Computer. Yep. God, what an obscure reference. No one's gonna get that. My excuse, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Oh no. Oh, here we go. Huh. No items, no secrets. Just absolute murder and nothing else. All right. I've only got... This is a bad idea. I was not expecting to survive that. Come on. Do we have any more explosive barrels? Can I do the funny? Can I do the funny? Can I please do the funny? Yes, I can do the funny. I have accomplished my goals of doing the funny. Where's an appropriate soundbite? What a misadventure this has been. Let us go find a raid target. Ooh, Super's playing the Pac-Man World remake. That looks like fun. Let's go raid Super.